Good morning. I've got a message in front of me that says this hangout is on the air, so hopefully that is. Bill, Chris, somebody in the chat, let me know you can see and hear me. Um, Welcome. Glad to see you're here today. Laura was here a couple minutes ago, and I don't know what happened to her. She dropped off and hasn't been seen since. So maybe she's on her way back. I have no idea. Um, it's crazy. It's crazy. Some of these things, some of these little idiosyncrasies that happen. So anyhow, somebody tell me in the chat you can hear and see me. I know there's a delay. I want to be sure, uh, and we're going to pick up with the money, the wealth principles. Actually, it really is the wealth principles. It really is based a lot on T. Harv Eker's wealth principles. We're going to just pick up where we left off. Um, I don't see any response from the chat. So, can you hear me? Can you hear on this? Oh, there's Laura. Me? Okay. Hi there.
Hello.
Can you hear and see me?
Yeah, I can.
Okay. Okay. Yes. Good. All right. Bill said he can hear and see me. I see you came in the other way, but I clicked you on over. And I hope that's okay with you. And if anyhow, here we go. Listen, I'm going to pick up where we left off on Tuesday, and part of the reason is I was wrong. We didn't quite get halfway through, so I don't want to waste any time here. Let's just pick right up where we were. So I'm going to go hit screen share, share the screen. You should be seeing my screen, and you should be seeing this slide. Laura, can you see the slide?
Yep.
Say again?
Yes, we can see it.
Okay, cool. This is where we left off. Rich people focus on opportunities, poor people focus on obstacles. I think we spent some time on that slide, so I'm not going to spend any time on it. We're just going to keep right on going. Rich people admire other rich and successful people. Poor people resent rich and successful people. What the heck does that mean? Now, I don't know about you, but once again, when I was growing up, there was this connotation around people that had money that was, well, they must have done something shady to get that. Or the idea that people talk about people that are filthy rich. And the problem, of course, is that if you think people are filthy rich, or if you think people that have money have done something something sort of shady to get it, you're not going to want to hang around them. But if you want to have money yourself, you want to be rich, you got to go hang around people that have it. It's often been said that success leaves clues, and the challenge is that in order to find success, we got to get around successful people. And if we resent them, well, first off, that's going to come through, and we're not going to want to spend very much time with them. So, the reality is, it's very simple. We've got to admire and model people that are rich and successful. And if we don't, then we're not going to be successful ourselves. We can't resent them because our brain isn't going to let us do things that we resent. So once again, I was raised with the idea that the guy down the street that had money must have done something shady to amass that much money, and therefore, rich people were, they were frowned on. Of course, that was a defense mechanism to defend ourselves against the fact that we weren't rich. I mean, we didn't have money growing up. Most of what I heard was money doesn't grow on trees. All those things that many of us have heard. So it's really important to get that thought process and get our brains wrapped around it, and be sure that we look at people like Ray Higdon, for example. We look at him with incredible admiration for what he's been able to accomplish. And then the next question is, well, who do you associate with? Rich people associated with positive, successful people. Poor people associated with negative or unsuccessful people. Look, I know there's no one in this webinar that does this, but who do you primarily hang out with? Do you leave work on Friday and go to the bar or the bowling alley with your bowling alley bar friends? It's often been said that we're the average of the 5 people we hang around the most. Jack Canfield admonishes us to drop out of the Ain't It Awful Club and hang around positive, supportive people. And I know that everyone that's on this webinar today is in that category. We don't, none of us are hanging out. Well, that's not completely true. I mean, if you look at my timeline on Facebook today, you might think that I'm hanging out with a lot of negative people. And in fact, I blocked I didn't block people, but I took down some posts today. I just deleted them from my timeline. I don't want to see them, and I don't want to be associated with them because it's just negative, all negative stuff. And hey, we don't need to be there. We don't need to be there. We need to find the opportunity and move forward. And I don't want to. I don't want to go on to a rant about politics here, but the reality is, what we saw here in the last couple of days was an absolutely marvelous example of democracy at work, and that's the principle that this country is built on. And we need to find the diamond in the rough and go forward, and quit bitching about it. That's my opinion. All right, how about promotion? Pardon me?
I said amen.
How about promotion? Rich people are willing to promote themselves and their values. Poor people think negatively about selling and promotion. Now, this is really powerful in the business we're in, because what we really, each and every one of us, has to do if we want to build our businesses, we have to promote ourselves and our values. This is really the heart of attraction marketing. It's the heart of bringing people to us. It's the heart of having people look at us as people that have value, that can contribute to their lives. And it's really quite simple. If we don't promote ourselves, no one else is going to do it. Who's going to promote us if we don't? Okay, so, what are you worth? And once again, I think some of this does go back to childhood programming, which I keep harping on, I know, but many of us have been programmed with negativity or lack from childhood, and we just need to get rid of that stuff. We've got to be willing to go out there and pound the pavement and tell everybody why we are what we are, why we admire the company we're with and the products we have. And the reality of this, the reality of network marketing is this: if you don't believe in the company and the products, then you shouldn't be in this company. You should be in a different company. You need to be, the first principle of success in this business is to be a product of the product, and to really absolutely 100% believe in the company you're with and the products you're promoting. And if you don't, and if you're not willing to do that, then you're not going to succeed. It's really that simple. Next, rich people are bigger than their problem. Poor people are smaller than their problems. There was a day in time when Donald Trump was broke. In fact, he was $500,000 in debt. I don't remember the details. I do remember there's a story about Donald Trump walking past a beggar on the street saying, that beggar is $500,000 richer than I am, because he was in debt. And, a few years later, he was a billionaire again. Robert Kiyosaki's gone through bankruptcy. We all know Ray Higdon was in foreclosure. Now, let's just take Ray Higdon when his house was in personal foreclosure. Did he sit down on the couch and turn on the TV with a cold beer and say, "Oh God, why did this happen to me? This isn't fair. This wasn't the way it was supposed to be. Oh, poor me"? Hell no. He didn't do that. He just looked at it and he said, "I got to beat this. This is what I got to do to beat it. This is what I'm going to do to beat it." And we all have to keep that in mind. We have to be bigger than our problem. If we focus on our problem, guess what we're going to get more of? We know that. It's the law of attraction. But it really works. It's really huge in the money game. How about being excellent receivers? Rich people are excellent receivers. Poor people are poor receivers. I want to spend a little bit of time here. I want to remind you of the core skills of receiving. The first and the foremost skill of receiving is loving yourself, is really being able to look in the mirror and say, "I love you," and mean it and feel it and be sincere about it. If you don't love you, who else is going to? I mean, think about that. Besides that, and this comes directly from Larry Hochman in the Guru Code, by the way, some of this, going back to the Guru Code. If you know somebody that you're not particularly fond of, you just sort of tolerate them. You might be nice to them. You might hold the door for them. but you're not going to go out of your way to do wonderful things for them. But you're asking yourself to go out of your way to do wonderful things for yourself. Your goal in life is to do wonderful things. You got to love yourself to put yourself into that position. The other thing that we talked about, and we've spent time on this, but I'm going to go back and review it real quickly, is anchor behavior. What is anchor behavior? Go back into your life and find a moment that was absolutely ecstatic, something you just truly felt happy. You were in ecstasy. You were in heaven. You loved it. Capture that moment in your thinking and now associate a very small, inconspicuous motion with that. One woman pushed a lock of her hair back behind her ear. I actually rubbed two fingers together. Larry Hochman twists at the waist. This is an anchor behavior. And what you do is you associate your feel-good state with your anchor behavior. And every time you want to take yourself to the feel-good state, you do your anchor behavior. Now, if you've never done this before, if you don't remember us ever talking about this, I did a whole webinar on anchor behavior one time. So did Larry in the Guru Code. What I'm covering in a couple minutes here, we could do a whole webinar on. If you've never done an anchor behavior, and if you don't have one that's part of your everyday life, then you need to find one. You need to find that really great moment in your life. You need to find that little motion you're going to associate it with it. And to quote Larry Hochman, we're not talking about doing the funky chicken out in public, nothing that's going to bring you ridicule, shame, and people looking at you like you're out of your mind. Just the small, inconspicuous little motion, and then practice it. And Larry suggests practicing it 25 times a day for 30 days. Practice it so you get to a point where it's just automatic, where you want to take yourself into a feel-good state. You do your anchor behavior and take yourself to a feel-good state.
Hey, Len.
Yes.
I wonder if anyone's watching, because I've been doing my anchor behavior, and I'm sitting here cracking up with myself. Nobody said anything. And I can't show you because we're on screen share. So I'll show you when we're done, but go ahead and continue. But I'm sitting here cracking up myself. Wake up, you guys. Sorry, go ahead.
Ask them to comment in the chat.
Comment in the chat. Do you see my anchor behavior? Crickets. Crickets.
What are crickets?
You can't hear anything. There's nothing there. No, I think there's a little lag in it.
Oh yeah, there is a big lag. There's a big lag.
Yeah.
It takes time.
Okay, but you're good. Keep going. I'm enjoying it.
Well, I hope there's other people out there that are able to hear me.
Yeah. Well, that's why I was wondering. Okay, they see us. No, we see the screen share. Oh, they don't see me. That's why. Okay.
Yeah, of course. Yeah, how silly of you. Okay. All right.
I wonder.
Right.
Oh, that cracks me up. Okay.
The next part of being an excellent receiver is finding that quiet space and quieting your mind. And doing this, as I've said before, meditation is a crucial part to helping your self-development and growing your business. It's a crucial piece of it. Everyone, if you look back in history, everyone advises meditation. There he goes with that meditation crap again. God, he wants me to go sit in the corner and meditate. Well, yeah, I do. I want you to spend some time with yourself every day and clear your mind of all the clutter and the crap. All the great philosophers of history meditated and were proponents of meditation. Jesus Christ went to the desert for 40 days and meditated. So find that quiet space and meditate every day. Now, we're going to spend just another minute on this slide and then move on. The next step of being an excellent receiver is to intend your day. Intend your day. When you get up in the morning, the first thing you do, and the first thing, one of the very first things I do, well, I won't tell you what the first thing I do is. It's probably the first thing you do too, but we'll leave that out. But one of the very first things I do is I go into my gratitudes, and I really do this. I do this every day now, and I have for some time. But one of the very first things I write down in my gratitude journal, besides "Good morning, God, thank you for waking me up for another day," and "Good morning, Len," is this is going to be and then I put in an adjective. What kind of a day am I going to have? It's going to be a fantastic day. It's going to be a fabulous day. It's going to be a great day. It's going to be a good day. It's going to be a marvelous day. It's going to be a productive day. It's going to be a blah, 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 whatever you want it to be day. But intend your day. Make a decision when you get out of bed in the morning, what kind of a day you're going to have. It's going to be a marvelous day. It's going to be a fun day, a magical day. And I tell you, if you do that, and I write it down, and I can show you my gratitude journal, but I write it down. If you do that, you'd be amazed that how it sets you up to have the kind of a day you intend to have. And then you can go a step further and you can talk a little bit about what you intend to do today, what you intend to accomplish. I'm going to write a blog post. I'm going to do lunch with Len. I'm going to whatever I'm going to do. I don't go quite that far most of the time, but I do intend my day. And then I write down, and I have my affirmations that I write every morning. And one of the ones, for example, that I work on with myself is I am perfect health. I am perfect health. I'm working on correcting a couple of my little health issues, like my right hip, without hopefully having to have surgery again. And I know the word "hopefully" in there is a weak word. I didn't like the way I said that, so I'm going to take that back. Without having surgery again. So, and then I do. If those of you who were in the Daily Magic with Laura and I do write my 10 people and things that I'm grateful for. And some days my list is longer than 10, but it's always at least 10. And then close your day. I still use my magic rock. Again, those of you who were in the Magical Day workshop, I got my magic rock, and I've absolutely fallen in love with my magic rock. I take it to bed with me every night, and you might think that it's a little weird taking a guy to bed with you, or a rock to bed with you, but I lay there, I lay down with my rock, and I think about all the good things that happened today, and I pick out the one that I feel the best about, and I close my day. I close my day with thinking about the good things that happened today. And if there's any bad things, they're gone. They're just shoved out of my memory completely. Don't let them in anymore. I give myself 90 seconds to be ticked off if something went wrong, and then I recover. So this is part of being a receiver, and rich people are good at it. Rich people choose to get paid based on results. Poor people choose to get paid based on time. Now, I don't have to tell any of you that. We can all trade time for money. We can all get a job, and if you have a job, you're making other people's dreams come true, not yours. So I'm going to come back to your vision. Do you have a dream? Do you have a vision? Have you created your vision? Have you written it down? I'm talking to you, Chris. Where are you going to be in 1 year, 3 years, 5 years? And we're coming up on the end of the year. It's time to do some end of year planning. We're going to do some here in a couple weeks. We'll pull out the old plan and dust it off and clean it up and take a look at it and take a look at what we want to do for next year, where we want to be and how we're going to get there. So, and if you're working in network marketing and not making any money yet, it's just the way this business works. You do a lot of work in the beginning for not a lot of money, and do a little work in the end for a lot of money. We're going to make it work. Each and every one of us. What's your dream? What's your vision? Rich people think both. Poor people think either or. One of the attitudes of poor people is, well, if we go on a vacation, then we can't afford this, or we do this, we can't afford that. Why not? Why do you have to make choices? Why can't I have my cake and eat it too? So one of the questions that T. Harv Eker pounds away on is asking empowering questions like, why can't I do both A and B? Why am I imposing limits on myself? I am so happy and grateful now that I have both A and B, whatever they are for you. So rich people think both. They don't think, the point is rich people don't think about limitations. They don't permit limitations. They think empowering thoughts. Rich people focus on their net worth. This is a big one. Poor people focus on their working income. This is a big one. This is huge. There's a huge difference between paying the bills and having money. If you're still sitting around thinking about, oh God, how am I going to pay this bill next month? Am I going to have enough money to pay the bills? Then you are sabotaging yourself. If you haven't started to calculate your net worth and look at that number maybe once a month, then you're sabotaging yourself. If you're still thinking about how much money do you have in your checking account versus what your net worth is, then you're sabotaging your financial future. Because I will promise you this, if you're thinking about how am I going to pay that bill next month, you are fearful that you won't have enough money to pay the bill. You're putting energy into fear of lack, and that's what you're going to get. It's a mindset. You got to change that mindset. Your financial freedom account is your start towards your wealth. If you haven't established your financial freedom account, we talked about it last week, you need to do it. Recommend 10% off the top before it ever gets into your checking account, goes into your financial freedom account. And you go, I can't afford 10%. Yes, you can. You just think you can't. That's scarcity thinking. You think you can't, but you can. And if you can't, you're setting yourself up. If you don't, you're setting yourself up. Rich people manage their money well. Poor people mismanage their money well. Quote, T. Harv Eker, you got to save and invest a fraction of everything that comes through the door. And that's, once again, that financial freedom account. If you don't, you're setting yourself up for not getting where you want to go to. And I know it's painful. I understand that. I really, 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 really do. Believe me, I do. But you got to do it. If you want to go somewhere with your financial future, you got to do it. Rich people have their money work hard for them. Poor people work hard for their money. Same thing. You got to build that financial freedom account, even if it's only pennies at first, a little bit here, a little bit there. But you got to begin to build it. It's a mindset. It's getting into the habit. It's building the practice. It's getting that muscle developed. If you haven't been to the gym in 5 years, you don't go to the gym, put 100 pounds on the barbell and lift it. You start with something a lot smaller. So it's okay. It's okay to start small, but it's not okay not to start. If you don't ever walk in the gym, you will never improve. And similarly, if you don't begin to build your financial freedom account, you'll never have one. And if you make $1,000 today and you can't afford to put $10 into your financial freedom account, when you make $1 million, you won't be able to afford to put 100,000 in. I mean, it's just the mindset doesn't change. So you got to start somewhere, or 10,000, or even 1,000 if you make $1 million. But if your mindset is I can't afford it, that's what your mindset's going to be no matter how much you're making. You're not going to change it. So change your mindset. Begin working towards your future. Begin building your financial freedom account, even if it's only pennies a day. Rich people act in spite of fear. Poor people let fear stop them. Everyone has their fears. Still got a fear of the phone? Pick it up and make some calls. You still have doubts and uncertainties about your future? Get rid of them. Meditate. Do affirmations. Do afformations. Ask yourself empowering questions. Acknowledge your fear. I'm afraid of the damn phone, so I'm going to pick it up and make $10 today. And I'm going to get over that fear. You'd be amazed. It's like everything else. The more you do it, the more you're going to get over it. There is no workaround for not doing it. You know how many times it's been said, the thing you want is on the other side of the thing you fear. And I truly believe that. I truly, absolutely believe that. The thing you want is on the other side of your biggest fear. So step through it. Get Susan Jeffers' book, Face the Fear and Do It Anyway. Step through it. Get the book from the guys that wrote Go for No. I forget their names off the top of my head. Step through the fear. Do it anyway. Develop that muscle, and you'll be better off for it. Rich people constantly learn and grow. I believe this is the last slide. Poor people think they already know it all. The minute you catch somebody saying, oh, I know that, you don't have to teach me that, I already know it, you know that that person is in trouble. End of story. The end of story. The minute you think you know it all, you are in trouble. So resist the temptation to say I know it. If somebody asks you, do you know something? Resist it. I do this personally. If somebody asks me, do I know something? I almost always say no. Go ahead, tell me about it. Or I say, well, I know something about it. Well, don't you tell me what you want to tell me? I will listen, because I will always learn something new. There's always somebody that knows more than I do. In fact, there's a lot of people that know more than I do. So I just usually shut up and listen. And this is an ego thing. This is an ego thing. Our ego wants us to tell people that we know it all. You don't have to tell me, I know. Well, go look in your checking account. It's a reflection of how much you know about money and about building your business. And if you don't like what you see, maybe you don't know it all. It's time to learn some more. So you're either growing or dying. It's a choice. You got to make that choice every day and grow continuously every day. And if there's anybody on here who doubts the importance of mindset training, if you think you know it all, if you think you got that part under control, just tell me what your checking account looks like, and I'll tell you if you have it under control or not. Anyhow, I think that's the last slide. Whew. Aren't you glad we're done with that?
No, that was nice.
All right, where's the screen? We're back. We're back. Look, we even picked up some more people. Hey, Larry. Hello, Linda. And Chris and Bill, thank you for joining us. Hey, look at that. It's right at 12 o'clock, too. We made it on time. All right. Good enough. I hope you folks got value out of all this. If you want the slides, I can put them into the group. If somebody asks for them, I'll put them up there. Or, of course, both of these sessions were recorded. So drinking a glass of water isn't, what's that, Chris? Isn't bad.
Oh,
all right, so
that was when you were saying your rock was in, you were taking your rock to bed with you, but you did the first thing that you did, woke up in the morning. You said you'd leave that out, and I was like, wait a minute, drinking a glass of water isn't bad. Haha.
So what's your anchor behavior, Chris? Laura, what's your anchor behavior? Really? Okay. Mickey Mouse, huh? All right. Well, that's not the suggested anchor behavior. If she does that in public, it's like, but she'd probably get away with it.
I do. I get away with it.
Yeah.
They don't have to know why I'm doing it.
Okay. All right, everybody. Thank you for coming. I hope you got value. There's nothing else going on today that I know of.
No, Jackson was here and he left.
Huh?
Jackson was here.
Was he? Did he pop in?
Yeah, he popped in and then he left. He said, have a great day.
Okay.
So. Anyway.
Alrighty then.
Okay. Well, thanks, Len.
Folks, have a great day. You're welcome. You
You
folks
too.
have a great day and have a great weekend, and we'll talk again on Tuesday. Bye for now.